What's going on, guys? It's Greg here, aka NYPrepper. It is Thursday, May 2nd, 2024, and I have an emergency alert to share with you guys. Right now, it is 15:32 Eastern Time here in the United States, and we have some major breaking news coming in from Europe and the Middle East. Before I get into the major breaking news, I just want to mention that Twitter has permanently banned my account, so I will not be able to post or message or basically use Twitter at all anymore. So I'm on Telegram, and to get to my Telegram, you just got to search NYPrepper1, t.me/NYPrepper1. I'll leave the link to my Telegram in the comments section down below. But I need you guys to do me a favor, and if you could go onto your Twitter accounts and tag Elon Musk and tag me and ask him why I was banned and ask him to unban me, because I've never had any problems on Twitter before. I don't even post on Twitter. The only thing I do is share my videos on Twitter. I don't even comment on people's videos. So I don't know what's going on here. But if you guys could just flood Elon Musk's inbox at Elon Musk and at NYPrepper and ask him to unban me and ask him why I was banned. So we have some major breaking news, guys. Our nuclear forces are on high alert this afternoon. I'm not sure what's going on here, but we currently have 3 nuclear war command and control planes up in the air doing VLF work, which means that they're communicating with our nuclear armed submarines. They're transmitting some messages to our nuclear armed submarines. What those messages are, we have no idea, but there's currently 3 of them doing that. We have one off the coast of New Jersey, one looping over Indiana, and one going down to the Gulf of Mexico. So that is extremely unusual. We also have a presidential doomsday plane that was flying with its transponder off, and it turned its transponder on over Wyoming, and it is now heading east over Nebraska. We also have a B-52 that is looping over North Dakota. B-52s are part of our nuclear triad. They carry air-launched cruise missiles with the W-80 thermonuclear warheads. So something's going on here. I'm also hearing that nuclear attack options are being broadcasted today, and activity with them is picking up. These are also known as emergency action messages. These are coded messages sent out to our nuclear forces, telling them where to aim their missiles, essentially, and those are picking up today. So something is brewing. We also have a lot of sub-hunter activity off the U.S. East Coast, and last night we also had a lot of sub-hunter activity off the East Coast and also in the Gulf of Mexico. So what you're looking at here are 2 P-8 Poseidons off the coast of Virginia Beach, and they're just looping here all afternoon. They've been up in this area here, and last night we had a P-8 Poseidon in the Gulf of Mexico looping, and then we also had an MQ-4C Triton, which is a reconnaissance drone that was doing loops also where the P-8s are today, and then off the coast of South Carolina. So it's possible that there's Russian subs off our East Coast and in the Gulf of Mexico. Okay, something is going on over here. This is definitely not normal. We have some new video footage coming out of, I believe this is France, showing a massive amount of military hardware going to Ukraine. Check this out, guys. And speaking of France, we have major breaking news coming in today. The French president, Emmanuel Macron, confirmed that he did not rule out sending troops to Ukraine if Russia were to make a significant breakthrough this year. And he said this in an interview with The Economist. He said, "I'm not ruling anything out because we are facing someone who is not ruling anything out," said Macron when asked if he stood by comments earlier this year. Macron said, "If Russia decided to go further, we will in any case all have to ask ourselves this question of sending troops." describing his refusal to rule out such a move as a strategic wake-up call for my counterparts. He described Russia as a power of regional destabilization and a threat to Europeans' security. I have a clear strategic objective. Russia cannot win in Ukraine, Macron said. If Russia wins in Ukraine, there will be no security in Europe. Who can pretend that Russia will stop there? What security will there be for the other neighboring countries, Moldova, Romania, Poland, Lithuania, and others? He asked. So this is huge news, guys. Okay, the French president basically saying he would send troops to Ukraine potentially if Russia makes a significant breakthrough this year. Okay, and we know that the UK has gone into wartime production for ammunition. Great Britain is producing massive amounts of artillery right now. So things are really escalating there, and we have a massive amount of NATO activity in the Baltics and in the Nordic countries, especially the last few days. I would not be surprised if Russia and Belarus launch a surprise attack on the Baltics this spring and this summer. We know that Belarus has moved an entire mechanized brigade to within just a few miles of the Lithuanian border on the same highway that goes straight to Vilnius, the capital. So get prepared, guys. Things are about to pop off. And Reuters is reporting that an American official has called on China and Russia to match the U.S. in declaring that only humans and never artificial intelligence would make decisions on deploying nuclear weapons. Okay, so this is coming straight out of the movie Terminator, guys. In Terminator, the AI launches nukes at Russia and causes a nuclear war on purpose because the AI didn't like humanity and wanted to wipe us out. So it launched a surprise nuclear attack on Russia to provoke Russia to respond back and cause a thermonuclear war. And the 10th Mountain Division is going to be deployed to Eastern Europe. I got an email today from somebody on the inside telling me that the 10th Mountain Division is going to be deployed to Eastern Europe, and this comes just 2 weeks after the Wisconsin National Guard sent an entire infantry brigade called the Red Arrow to Eastern Europe after they received urban and trench warfare training in Louisiana. And this update was sponsored by My Patriot Supply. Guys, My Patriot Supply is doing a discount on their 1-month emergency food supply. And to get the deal, you got to go to preparewithnyprepper.com, and the link is in the description below this video. This is a 1-month freeze-dried food supply. It has a 25-year shelf life. Normal price is $237. They've dropped it down to $177. So that's a savings of $60. And it's all packed within 2 rugged, water-resistant buckets. Free shipping is included. $177 for 1 month of food. Where are you going to find a deal like that? They also have a general store, and they're always running discounts in their general store on various prepping and survival items. They have everything from MREs, potassium iodide, to survival seeds. And to get to their general store, you got to click on the My Patriot Supply logo at the top of the page when you get to preparewithnyprepper.com. And you'll see when you get there, they have everything you can imagine. So use the link preparewithnyprepper.com to get $60 off the My Patriot Supply 1-month emergency food supply. That's $180 for 1 month of food, free shipping included. The link is in the description below this video. And also check out their general store. They have everything you can imagine prepping and survival related, and they're always running various discounts there. We also have an escalating situation in the Republic of Georgia in the Caucasus region. So over the last 2 days, there have been some very intense clashes between the Georgian people and the Georgian government. The Georgian government, which has been infiltrated by the Russian government, is trying to pass this law on foreign agents, which would basically eliminate the possibility of Georgia joining the EU. And so I do believe that we're going to see another revolution in Georgia, similar to the Maidan revolution in Ukraine that happened in 2014. Here we have some footage coming out of Tbilisi, the capital, today. You can see all the Georgian people holding up flags of Georgia. So this is very, very serious, guys. And they've started blocking roads in the capital of Tbilisi. These protesters, okay, Georgian people that are against this law, that are against the Russian influence on Georgia, are now blocking roads. And over the last 2 days, there have been very violent clashes between the Georgian security forces and the Georgian people. So this is a very, very serious situation, guys. I think this is just beginning. And I think over the next few nights, we're going to see some very, very serious clashes, to the point where I think that the current government in Georgia is going to get overthrown. And Poland is going to organize a security summit with Ukraine and the Baltic states. The meeting will take place in the Polish city of Białystok in June. Okay, so very interesting. And the IAEA Director General Rafael Grossi will visit Iran on May 6th through May 7th to discuss the country's nuclear program. And Turkey has suspended all trade with Israel. And today, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said, "We will do everything necessary to defeat our enemy, including in Rafah, to secure our future." Okay, so Netanyahu is not backing down on Rafah. He's going to continue his operation in Gaza until Hamas is completely annihilated. And then Hezbollah is next. And Israel's National Security Council has raised the travel alert level for the Swedish city of Malmo, calling on Israelis to reconsider their trip there. And the U.S. House passed an anti-Semitism bill amid all of the college riots going on. Over 50 colleges have these pro-Hamas encampments now. And Biden broke his silence about the pro-Hamas riots across U.S. universities today, saying we are not an authoritarian country, but order must prevail, basically supporting the activities of law enforcement to break up these encampments. And Israel's president on Thursday slammed U.S. universities for campus unrest over Israel's war in Gaza, saying these institutions were contaminated by hatred and anti-Semitism. And Saudi Arabia will start arresting anyone who comments against Israel on social media, according to Bloomberg. Saudi Arabia has stepped up the arrest of citizens for social media posts related to the Israel-Hamas war, as the kingdom signals a readiness to agree to diplomatic relations with Israel. So very good news there. The Saudis are trying to get closer to Israel, and that is biblical, guys. Okay, the Bible says that Israel will form an alliance in the end times with Saudi Arabia. And the Philippines Department of Foreign Affairs said it summoned a senior Chinese embassy official on Thursday over the harassment of Philippine vessels in the South China Sea. And this comes just a few days after several Chinese Coast Guard vessels were harassing Philippine Coast Guard vessels and Philippine mariners with water cannons, okay? And I wanted to update you guys on that strange aircraft that was spotted over Eglin Air Force Base yesterday. So I'm hearing from various people different things. So some people said it could have been the next generation air dominance fighter jet. Some people were saying that it was the X-47B. Some people were saying it was a Chinese reconnaissance drone of some kind. So no solid proof yet on what that was. And here we have some video footage coming out of Russia. This is in Kursk. And you can see this drone destroying a Russian Buk air defense system. You can see the drone right there hitting the air defense system. So this is in Russia, guys. This is behind the Russian border in Russia. Okay, they destroyed this air defense system here, air defense battery, the Buk launcher, which is an old Soviet air defense battery. Okay, so Ukraine is continuing to strike deep into Russia. Here we have a blueprint of the Baltic jammer. This is the device that is responsible for jamming the GPS signals of aircraft and now surface vessels in the southern Baltic Sea. And this was obtained by Osechkin. He's a Russian independent journalist, and he has sources inside of the Russian government who provided this blueprint here. So this is the machine responsible for jamming all of the ships and aircraft over the last few months in the Baltic Sea. And I want to just share some concerning flight paths with you guys. So here we have a Polish border guard plane that was patrolling the Polish border with Belarus. And what's very concerning about this is right on the opposite side of the border here in Belarus, right next to where this Polish border guard plane was patrolling, is a massive base where Russia moved thousands of troops and tanks and armored vehicles, literally just 1 to 2 miles from the Polish border. And the Polish border guard is patrolling this area here, flying up and down their border with Belarus in this area, keeping an eye on this base or training ground to see if they're making a move towards Poland. So very concerning. And last night we had 2 British fighter jets patrolling southern Finland and northern Estonia. Here's one of them. It came down from southern Finland, and then it was looping just east of Tallinn, and then it went back. And then a few hours later, another one came down and was looping for a while east of Tallinn, and then it went back up into Finland. And then we also had a massive amount of reconnaissance activity in the Baltic Sea last night. This is a first for me. This is an E3 Sentry here that was looping over the Swedish Gotland Island, which is a Swedish island in the middle of the Baltic Sea. And it was flying right over the Gotland Island, just looping here. Now, the Gotland Island is considered to be a very strategic island, and many Russian war planners have said that in a war with NATO, they would try to capture the Gotland Island so they could set up air defenses there and deny access to the entire Baltic Sea for NATO, which would never happen. But we do know that Russia has its eyes on the Gotland Island, and last night an AWACS plane operated by NATO was looping right over the Gotland Island. I've never seen that before. They usually loop like over Lithuania or Poland, but now they're looping right over the center of the Baltic Sea. We also had multiple aerial refuelers here in the central Baltic Sea, and I don't know what they were refueling here, but they were looping for hours. And we also had 2 Italian VIP planes head north from Italy towards the North Pole. I don't know where they were going because their transponders lost signal once they got close to Svalbard in Norway. Okay, Svalbard is an island that's part of Norway, and there is a lot of NATO infrastructure on Svalbard, so maybe they were going there. I have no idea, but this is pretty unusual. And at the same time, we also had a UK rivet joint reconnaissance plane looping here parallel to the western shore of Crimea, which means that they were gathering targeting information for the Ukrainians for future strikes on Crimea. There were also several sub-hunters here off the coast of Romania as well. We also had a U.S. reconnaissance plane fly all the way up to the Lapland in Finland, along the Finnish border with Russia here, and also along the border of the Baltic countries with Russia and Belarus as well. And then there was also a P-8 Poseidon sub-hunter plane that was patrolling the shoreline of Russia here near their Northern Fleet base in Murmansk. The Northern Fleet is where Russia has at least half of their nuclear-armed submarines, and so we were sending a sub hunter to patrol just offshore of their main sub base. Okay, so that's very concerning. And we also had a Swedish reconnaissance plane patrolling the Polish border with Russia and Belarus. And then we also had a Estonian border guard plane patrolling their coastline here along the Gulf of Finland. Very interesting. Here we have some video footage coming out of North Carolina, I believe, showing these police officers protecting an American flag that was taken down by these pro-Hamas supporters or Hamas supporters. And what's interesting is this one police officer actually spits on the Palestinian flag here while the other officers are trying to restore the American flag on the pole there. So it's good to see that, these cops are standing for the flag. And here we have some video footage coming out of UCLA today showing all this debris left behind by the Hamas supporters. This was their encampment. Look at this, guys. This is disgusting. Okay, so these Hamas supporters were literally living on the campus illegally, and the LAPD had to go in and raid the encampment and break it down, and all this trash was left behind. Absolutely insane, guys. Our country is crumbling from within. And here's a picture of that unidentified aircraft that was flying over Eglin Air Force Base. But I will be back either later tonight with another update or possibly tomorrow. I will be traveling this evening and I will be out of town tomorrow. I'm going to be filming some videos with another YouTuber. So I will be posting some videos from my trip tomorrow. So I will have limited access to my computer over the next 24 to 48 hours. I will do my best to try to update you guys. And if anything very serious happens, obviously I will go live. But don't forget to subscribe to my Telegram channel. I will be posting my updates there. And also I will be posting any uncensored content that I find that I can't post here. It's going to go on Telegram. Also, check out my Patreon. Okay, $3 a month, and you get priority access to my breaking news and emergency alerts. I always post everything there first before I post it to YouTube. And you can also communicate with me directly there. So I'll leave links to my Patreon as well. But until later on tonight or tomorrow, take care, God bless, and don't forget the 3 Ps: prepare, practice, and persevere.